Greetings, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for another Priestess View. I'm Goddess Rhonda, and of course, we have with us, as always, our beautiful, gorgeous Goddess Star.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here tonight. And as usual, look at the Goddess Rhonda. She looks beautiful as usual. And
Well,
thank you for being here with us tonight.
thank you for being with us tonight. So tonight we're doing our midnight margarita. I don't have a margarita, but I do have a glass of
I've
wine.
got my wine.
Got my wine.
My
'Cause I'm a wine drinker. And tonight we're going to finish up our superhuman powers list that you guys can make a decision as to which ones that you would like to have. And we are also going to discuss our random question of the week. And we're going to intersperse live readings as well. So whatever your questions are, go ahead and start piling them up in the chat room so that we can start to answer you. But of course, as always, before we begin, we like to cast a circle of protection around us.
Where's my incense? Okay.
All hail, our lords and ladies of the East, our brothers and sisters, our brother and patron, the sacred element of air, namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. We charge thee, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you. So it is. So mote it be.
So it is, and so mote it be. All hail, our lords and ladies of the South, my brothers and sisters, my sister and patron, the sacred element of fire. Namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. I charge you, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you, and so it is. So mote it be.
So it is. So mote it be. All hail, our lords and ladies of the West, our brothers and sisters, our sister and patron, the sacred element of water, namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. We charge thee, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. So it is. So mote it be.
So it is, and so mote it be. All hail, our lords and ladies of the North, my brothers and sisters, my sister and patron, the sacred element of earth. Namaste. Divine honor, love, joy, peace, and respect to thee. I charge you, please cause a barrier of protection through all of our walls that face your direction, from corner to corner and end to end. Let peace and protection reign herein. Thank you, and so it is. So mote it be.
So it is. So mote it be. And we now bring down the divine white light from the sacred source of all well-being and fill all of our spaces with peace and protection always. So it is. So mote it be.
So it is, and so mote it be.
All righty then. So before we begin, Goddess Star has an announcement to make.
Yes,
so we
I
will
do.
let her go ahead and do that.
Okay, so earlier this week, I posted a proposition to people that were interested in the chronic pain oil that I created in January of 2015. Anyways, and so we were trying to get a name because we were calling it just the chronic pain oil. So my partner and I, Christine, said, let's get some ideas so we could figure out what we will call it. So we did not, I'll tell you honestly, we did not choose any of the names that people put out there for us. But what we did say that because two of you gave us the idea of the name that we did choose. So we wanted to send you both of the oil, okay? Because as far as we're concerned, we did not choose the name that you gave us entirely, but you did help us with it. So Beth Graneri, sorry. She mentioned the name Charmed Rescue Oil, and we used the word charmed. I don't know why we didn't think of that before because we were brain dead and didn't think of it. And then Lori Barbario Blackman, she mentioned a few ones, but what we liked was the word magical. So we ended up calling the oil a charmed magical oil for chronic pain. And then the for chronic pain is just on the, like in the small letters beneath it, but the name is a charmed magical oil. So that's the name. And we came up with it because of Beth with the charmed and Lori with the magical. So there you go. And we will send you guys a sample. Just message me your address. All right. And thank you guys all for participating in helping us name the oil. We really appreciate it. And thank you so much. All righty. And let's continue.
All righty. So before we begin, and you guys can go ahead and start posting your questions in the chat room. If you're looking at it on a computer, I know it's to the right of the screen. If you're looking at it through a phone or a tablet, I'm not quite sure. Maybe you have to scroll down to find it, but please go ahead. Give us your questions as we get into our show. So before we go with a power, I want to talk about our random question of the week.
Okay.
And the random question of the week is, have you ever been the collateral damage of a curse or a hex or bad mojo put on someone else? And let me give you an example of that. Let's just say that you're angry because your best friend was flirting with your husband. And so you're mad, so you go ahead and you put a curse on her that she gets sick or whatever it is. But because of that hex, something happens and she can't work. So now her family, her children, her husband, who had nothing to do with what she did, are now suffering in poverty because of a hex placed on their mother. So you can be collateral damage from a curse that's put on somebody else. The children are affected, the spouse can be affected, other people can be affected. So have you ever been affected by a curse or what you feel was a curse or a hex placed on someone else? It could be a friend, it could be, a family member, even a coworker. If someone says, I hate this person so much, I hope they don't have a job ever again, and then they can't support themselves. And then the company goes out of business and all the other workers are now plunged into poverty because they don't have a job because of the hex put on one person. So have you ever or felt that you have ever suffered collateral damage to a hex or curse put on someone else? And we would love to hear your answers, of course,
Yes.
in our chat room. Now, as far as me personally, I definitely believe that my family has been collateral damage from a curse that was put on my mom. And even when I was little, I always felt that this was a hex. And I even had an idea intuitively who did it, but I was just a kid. Nobody listened to me because I was just a child. And so I'm wondering if any of you out there have had that. And what about you, Goddess Star? Have you ever or felt like you have ever suffered as collateral damage from something put on someone else?
Me personally, I don't think I've ever been affected by it, but my son, my older son believes that he has always said to me, Mom, am I cursed by, from some family member or something? Because he felt like so many things were holding him back. He no longer thinks like that, but for a long while of his life, he felt like that. And I have no idea whether it came from whatever, because he said to me, it couldn't be from you, Mom, because you generally don't go cursing people, and he doesn't know me as that character. But I think we all have it in us, because I have seen where grown men have been rude for no reason, or they did something, pushed me out of the way and got into a cab that I was trying to get into or something like that. And I go, watch you. Just as you pull off the road or somewhere, watch everything happens to you. And I've said that, and I would see certain things happen and I smile and I walk away. And I'm really hoping it does not affect my kids or anything, because majority of times, and my whole thing with them has been, um, my thought has been, I think they need to learn how
Mm-hmm.
it can affect, how whatever it is that they did to me, that injustice could feel for them if it happened. So that has been my type of what you'll call hexing per se with people. I
Mm-hmm.
want them to feel what I feel. So if that, I'm hoping that does not pass on. Maybe, other than maybe if their kids or their husbands or wives feel what I felt, maybe, I don't know. Maybe they did. But for me personally, I have not seen it. I have a tendency to, like, so many people come to me. I think it's because so many people come to me, and I'm sure it happens to you too. Oh, I've been cursed. They don't think about anything else. They're so sure they've been cursed. And like I said, 90% of the time, they're the ones cursing themselves into a lot of things. So I have a tendency to not think of it for me, that curses are with me. So my thing is because I work and I deal with so many people dealing with that, I handle it slightly different for myself. Whereas I do these spells for, I had nothing to do with whatever happened before or with anyone before. So me and mine are safe. I've done spells like that kind of a thing. So even if there may have been blowback, it didn't affect us, although my son said it did for a while, but now he's over all of that and everything is beautiful. So he's no longer saying that. So, and maybe some of that worked that way. I don't know. But I have a tendency not to, um, again, maybe because I see, you know what I mean? You see so many of them come to us about the curses that you begin to handle it for yourself a bit differently. We don't come at it as, oh, I've been cursed and I'm going to wallow in it. We come at it like, I'm going to deal with it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to have it removed and move on with my life. And I'm not going to allow you to control me or mine, kind of a thing. And I even say it for down the line, my grandkids and everything. I don't want any of it going to them. Deal with me head on, straight, that kind of a thing. So if anything at all, that's how I deal with it.
See, I'm going to disagree with you. I would think that you have been affected by collateral damage. I think we as witches have been affected
Mm-hmm.
because I hate to bring this back up again, but you know, whatever brainiacs decided to do their public Trump hexing,
Oh, I see what you mean. Yes. Okay.
we suffered as collateral damage.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, we
You know,
did.
I didn't take part, and I didn't even know about it at the time.
Right.
And all of a sudden, my identity is being questioned. I have to show proof of who I am and
Yeah. Yeah. I
papers.
see what
And
you mean.
now, when we used to put events in, and we, as the taglines are, witchcraft,
Yeah.
witches, Wicca, goddess, those sorts of things. That's all gone now. If you try to do
Yeah.
a
It
spiritual
is. Yeah.
event for Facebook, the only tag you can put is modern
It's
paganism.
modern paganism.
Who do you
Yeah.
know searches for anything under modern paganism? People will search under witches, witchcraft, Wicca, goddess, pagan, anything like that. They've taken all that. They've had, you have been persecuted, Goddess Star. You got stuck in Facebook jail for what, 2 weeks?
Yeah. Yeah. But you see, I guess what I was thinking more the question was based on me and mine, my family, and how it reverts back to us and that effect. And I wasn't thinking of that outside effect that hadn't even had anything to do with us at all. But in
Right.
a way, and I forgot about that part about and you're right about that part, because I deal with the me and mine real well. But what we did not expect is that outside effect of other people doing things that affect the name witches
Yes.
in general. And you're right. And that has affected actually all of us in the community in some form or another. We've all had a bit of a collateral damage from that because of it. You're
Hmm.
absolutely right. You are absolutely right. I forgot about that. Yeah. You're absolutely right. I agree.
So we have suffered from that, and pretty hard. We've had pages taken down, and
Yep.
fights, and having to show my driver, my business license, and
Yeah.
being questioned. And we didn't have anything to do with that, but we suffered the damage. Also, even I believe as a group, but I'm just using this as one example. Of course, there are, of course, as you were thinking about you and your family. Of course, that's a consideration also. But if you think of what was done to us as a group, it made the news. Now all of, Goddess Star and I, and I'm sure many, many, many other magical practitioners are doing nothing but good in the world and helping people, or doing the best that we can to help people out. And now our name is destroyed. It might as well be back to the 1700s again,
Yeah.
because all anyone saw, they don't see the good work that we try to do. All they saw was, oh, look at this, a bunch of witches are hexing Trump and blah, 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 and made us look bad yet again.
Yeah.
So all our good work, you might as well just go right out the window, because we're trying to show that there's nothing wrong with being a witch. In fact, it's a positive thing. And now here comes these people with their big brainiac ideas, and we have suffered collateral damage. I believe we have suffered from
Oh
their
no, that's true.
stuff.
Absolutely true, because none of those things occurred before. The whole spell work thing, all of those things that you mentioned occurred. All of the name removals, we were brought on the questions, our names, everything. We had to show them doubly proof on Facebook. There are many of us in the community, one by one, not just me, that has been in Facebook jail for one thing after the other. Whether we post, and a lot of them are posting events on their own page, and they're being reported for some reason for
Right.
putting an event on their own pages. That makes no sense. And for whatever reason, I don't know. I think in some ways we are very much our own worst enemies. We bite the hands that feed ourselves, kind of a thing. We just I'm being nice with the words I'm choosing. You know me, I am being nice with the words I'm choosing, because we are a group of people that don't think, we react. And we have to learn to
Right.
think before we act, and don't just react. And a lot of them just react. And we all have very strong vocal words to say about certain things. We just don't do it like that. I don't know.
Well, so let's take a look and see what we've got, if anyone else has experienced anything in our chat room. Hi, everybody. Hello, our dear goddess Monica, and our darling J Key. And let's see, it moves every time I try to think it. Hey, Desert Siren, glad you made it with us today. Debbie S, what's happening? Catalin, good to see you. Ellen, always a pleasure, of course, goddess. All right,
Yeah.
let's see. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. I said Catalin. Okay. So let's see what our comments are. All right, we have Monica, who says yes to Rhonda's question. It wasn't like that. A woman didn't understand power and magic and accidentally bound me to her. She took my hair for a moon ceremony. So she had collateral
Mm.
damage from someone dabbling who had no clue as to what she was doing. We've got Debbie, who says, I think people I used to associate with tried to curse me, but I always knew it or felt it and did protection. I think I can't be sure of it. I have seen it, but maybe it's also a person in general. Also, I recall something from Goddess Rhonda's book about past lives and karma from those lives. Yes, you can still be suffering from the karma of your past lives. Then we have Ellen, who says, when I was younger, my mother's aunt, my grandmother's sister, used to tell stories about roots, things they had to remove. And Catalin says, yes, all my life, from a grandmother who cursed us all when my mom died. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Meaning my brothers and I. Hello, eclectic goddess. Um, okay, so now let's find a question, and then we'll look at some superpowers. And I saw a question in here, so bear with me as I scroll up to try to find it. And it is from Miss Debbie, Goddess Debbie, who says, how to stay calm during this hectic, rushed feeling time of year, the holidays? All right. So my answer to that is, there's one thing that's really irritating me very badly is it's not even Thanksgiving yet, and there are stations here in Albuquerque. I can't say for for the rest of the country that are already playing literally 24/7 Christmas carols to start forcing you to get into the stores and buy things, and you hear the commercials and this doorbuster and that sort of thing and everything that's going on. You know what? And I'll tell you, I just cruise through it. I do not let it affect me at all. I believe in divine timing. I will get my gifts when I'm ready to sit down and go online and get that. I don't go in the stores anymore because I can't stand it. But when I'm ready to do that, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I don't let any of these things rush me or pressure me or stress me out anymore. It's just, it is what it is, and I'm not going to give in to it. And so the best thing for you to do is just to remember the only reason it's hectic and rushed is because we're inundated with constant commercials and things. Hurry up, get your Christmas tree, go buy a new refrigerator for 40% off on Black Friday. Hey, you don't have to wait till Black Friday. Get here Thanksgiving morning at 6 o'clock and you'll get 70% off. Don't worry that you're not going to get to enjoy your holiday and sit with your family and eat your turkey and have a good time. It's more important to shop. You just have to look at that for what it is, a bunch of greedy merchants hoping that you will drop everything and go and buy their wares. And you just ignore it. It's just like you get into your own thing and don't be a part of it. That's what I do. I don't let this stress me out anymore. I used to when I was younger. It's like, oh my goodness, it's Thanksgiving. Christmas is a month away. I better get this and I better get on the ball and I save up and blah, blah, blah. Now it's like, you know what? I'm Christmas. I'm going to be chilling. I'm going to have a glass of wine. I'm going to chill out. Whoever I
Yep.
buy presents for will get their presents. Whoever I don't, sorry about that. Didn't get there in time. I'm not worrying about it. And don't let them do this to you because it's all commercial. There is nothing spiritual about these holidays. It's all buy, 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 spend all your money and pressuring you to do it. You can't even turn on anything now. It's like, oh, go here. We're already doing our Black Friday sales. It's like, it's not even Thanksgiving yet, dude. How can you be doing the Black Friday sales already? You can't allow yourself. You have to stay as a witch within your flow of nature and do things in your own divine time and let everybody else rush around and don't allow yourself to give into that. That's how I stay calm. I don't give into it anymore. I used to. It used to stress me out, thinking I got to get this, my nieces and nephews, and I better hurry up and where am I going to get the money? And and it's bad enough. It's not like when we were kids. And guys, I don't know how old you are, but I know that when I was a kid, you could buy your whole family presents for $20 because we didn't have the internet and tablets and video games. We had board games, we had Monopoly, we had dolls, everything. You could like buy your whole family. I could take $20 to the store and buy my whole family presents. Now it's like thousands of dollars just to buy one kid a present. So you just don't want to allow yourself to get caught up in the mundane world. That has nothing to do with you. You do things in your own time, craft your own gifts or purchase them, whichever you prefer, and stay within your own spiritual space and ignore the rest of it. That's my personal way of dealing with it. Goddess Star, how are you dealing with all of these rushes? Hurry up and buy this, and it's already. Don't even bother to make a turkey for Thanksgiving because we want you to go to the mall and shop. You can have turkey baby Sunday when you get a chance. It's not even about sitting with the family and eating and talking and communing that once a year time of the year, twice a year with Thanksgiving and Christmas or Yule. It's, you're not even allowed to sit on Thanksgiving and have your turkey and watch the games and do the things that we used to. Now it's like, hurry up, be here at 6 o'clock in the morning. And then we're going to have more doorbusters at 1 o'clock. And then at 5 o'clock, we're going to have this. It's no longer about family. There's nothing spiritual about it. There's nothing community about it. It's about merchants wanting money and greed. And if you can remember that and refuse to be a part of it, you should be just fine. What do you do to stay calm during this time? Got a star?
I actually, I'll have to tell you this. I am so much a person that does. I'm hearing a bit of echo. Let me make sure I am Okay. I'm so much a person that does not really cater to the holidays, the regular holidays, because I really have I grew up with it, yes, I know, but I've been a witch for so long in the sense of who I am as that witch that I forget actually all the holidays and I don't really follow it. So people don't expect me to send them things. If they get a Christmas card or something, they're lucky to get it because I don't. Other than my grandkids or the little kids that are around, I don't participate in it because I literally, it does not exist. But I have to say it's been funny. I'm smiling because I've seen some really comical memes or memes or whatever they want to call them on Facebook about it. There's one that I really loved was end and there's a turkey on the other end and she has a knife in her hand and she goes, more time with another Christmas thing, I'm gonna cut you and all these different things. And it was just funny. It's just funny. I started seeing all these things because they were all talking about it, and I'm like, I know, like, even some of my friends have mentioned it on Facebook. Like, you go out and you see all these Christmas things, and I honestly don't see it. I don't remember seeing any of them. I literally have not seen it because it's just not in my mindset. So it's going right past me because so forget about being calm. It's been gone. So I don't notice it or see it. So it's not part of it. I just know I have to buy my two granddaughters a gift.
Right.
And I don't because they're kids. Only because they're kids. If they were older, I'd be saying to them, "Sorry, Hans, it's not in my lifestyle." But I can give them a Yule gift. I would gladly give them, and I usually say it's for Yule.
Right.
So because they've both been, I've done their Wiccanings, both of them. So in any of the Christian religions, and they were done with Wiccanings by me. So they do Yule. That's it. So I'm good.
Awesomeness. All right. Well, now let's go ahead as we wait for, and please go ahead if you have questions because we're doing our readings. So if you have a question that you want us to read for, please go ahead and put them in the chat room so that we can go ahead and start answering you. All right. In the meantime, we're going to go back while we're waiting for some questions to our superhuman power list. Now, if you were with us last Monday, we have been through a whole slew of different superpowers. And our question was, if you had to narrow it down to three, what would those
Yeah.
three be? And then after you narrowed it down to the three, you have to now narrow it down to one. Now remember, once you accept that one, whatever gifts or powers you have now, you don't get to have those anymore. All you get is to have the one. So choose carefully,
Wisely.
choose wisely. So what we've got next is plant manipulation, the ability to create, control, manipulate animate plant life. Now, I actually have to say, I believe that that is a very worthy skill because if, God is forbid, if something ever happened and they launched a bomb or did something so that it destroyed the earth, if we as witches could come in and actually, clear that and grow plants so that people could eat and, have clothing and things like that, I think that's actually a very good survival because you could grow vegetables, you could grow cotton so that you could have clothes. That I think is a pretty good skill to have. What do you think?
Absolutely, because without the plants, I mean, that's how we get our oxygen, right?
Yes, that's
So
right. That's
if they
right.
die off, so do we. Because the exchange of life is there, plant and humans. It is what it is. They let out their carbon dioxide, and I'm sorry, they let out oxygen and we let out carbon dioxide. So, that's how we coexist with one another. One without the
Right.
other does not exist.
Right.
So it's an absolute necessity when you think about it.
What have we got next, Goddess Star?
All right, we have water and moisture manipulation. and that is the ability to control, generate, or absorb water. Now, at first I'm looking at it and I'm going, well, that's just as much as what we pretty much do now. But then I started thinking, again, this is another necessity, right? Just like the plants,
Sure it is.
of what, 98% water. So
Yeah,
that ability, I think it's something that maybe we do already in some way, but we just don't generate water, but we do
right,
absorb water.
right.
Um, so that's another necessity, I would say. What do you think, Goddess?
I am right there with you. And plus, we need the water for the plants.
Yeah, yeah.
We need it to live. Without water, we can go longer without food than we can without water. So that I think is an important survival skill. Now I have more than three things, so I don't know what we'll do, but we'll worry about that later.
Right.
Okay, next we have weather manipulation, the ability to control or mentally affect the weather. This includes the ability to generate various natural phenomena, rain, tornadoes, lightning, ocean currents, or control the intensity of the weather. That reminds me, remember that movie, what was it called? The Last Airbender, I think it was
Right.
called.
Yeah. Yeah,
Something
that
like
was it.
that, where they had the world was split into the different elements, right? Where like
Yeah.
one land was fire and they could control the fire,
Right.
but the last airbender could control everything.
Yeah, that was cool.
Weather manipulation, that's I'm kind of torn about. While it's one thing to say, well, we could have the sunlight to grow the plants and have it rain so we can have water. On the other hand, I do believe that the earth does the weather in a certain way to preserve herself. I'm not sure that we should be interfering with that.
Yeah.
Even though I know it's awful to have earthquakes and hurricanes and the extreme devastation that causes to human life. But if it's a way for the earth to maintain herself, then I don't know. I'm kind of torn about manipulating the weather. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I don't want it. I'm good with that because I think she has to do what she has to do. Survival, basically without the earth learning to survive on its own, like do what it has to do to survive, who are we,
Right.
basically in the grand scheme of things. So I'll leave that up to the earth itself to let the earth handle that. I don't want
I
that
agree.
power.
I agree. All right. So let's see. What have we got next, Got a Star?
Okay. The next one is, hold on.
We're at energy manipulation
Energy,
now.
energy manipulation. This one is concussion beams. The ability, that's a strange name, right?
Interesting.
Concussion beams. The ability to generate or transform various forms of energy into a solid or concussive beam of energy. Okay, I don't want that one.
Yeah, well, maybe if they told me the benefits of that, because I think we
Yeah,
already manipulate energy, so
yeah. I think we manipulate it, but I don't think we generate it necessarily. So, but I still, again, that's something I think that's all part of the weather and the everything else that has to be controlled by the earth itself.
yeah,
Hmm,
I'm not really into that
I don't
one, so
know.
let's skip it.
No, me either. Okay, what's the next one, hun?
The next one is energy blast, the ability to expel various forms of energy from the body, which I would take is to be more self-defense.
Yeah, I don't need
Yeah, it's not turning me on, dudes.
it.
It's not. What's
Okay.
next?
Okay, energy constructs. The ability to create complex shapes, such as giant boxing gloves or cages, or even functional machinery. Okay, and under that, okay, yeah. So the ability to as such as fire extinguishers or laser rifles out of solid energy.
Well,
The
creating a
ability to
fire
create
extinguisher doesn't
complex
sound
shape.
so bad.
It doesn't, but mm, I'm not turned on by this one. I'm okay. I can do without it.
All right, let's look at one more and then we'll go and look and see if we've got any questions. All right, let's see. Energy conversion, the ability to absorb one form of energy and convert it into another form of energy.
I don't want that one.
Yeah, that doesn't feel like that's something. I'm sure it's a good thing to have, but it just doesn't feel like it's something I want. All right, let's go check out the chat room and let's see if we've got any questions here. Okay, all right, so we've got Dale who says that will I do good on my new job? So I'll go ahead and give you that one, got a star. Will Dale do good on their new job?
Okay, sorry. Forgive me. I did not even pull out my deck as yet, but I will do so now. And it's my famous The Witch's Tarot deck. I love this deck by Ellen
It's a
Cannon
beautiful
Reed.
deck.
Isn't it? Yeah, it is. I
I
love it.
love it.
Okay. And the question was, will I do well at my new job or
Yeah,
will
will
I get
Dale
my new job?
do
Which one was it?
well?
Or will it
Dale
do
has a
well?
new
Okay.
job and wants to know how it's going to go.
Ooh, I see nothing, but really, you're very good at. Okay, let me show you the cards you got, and they're all very what I would call fruitful in terms of whatever it is pertaining to your money, your financial part of it. You'll do so well with it that you've got the Eight of Pentacles, you've got the Empress, and you've got the Magician. Now, the Magician, to me, always seems to be able to manipulate and control the things around them. Whatever their talents are, they're very good at it. They hone their skills, they get really well at it, and that's you. You're that magician. You're the one that you have a lot of great talent in the job that you started. You either you have the talent or it's latently there to develop it. You will learn how to hone the skills with it, and you will do very well with it. Pay attention to that female figurehead that is she helps guide you. Listen to her for a bit. I think you feel like if she meddles a bit too much. I don't know if that makes sense. But listen to her. She's trying to guide you in the right direction that will help you be financially successful in the new job. Right? I hope that answers your question.
Awesomeness. So good luck, Dale. We already see you're going to do well. It's all in the
Yeah,
cards.
yeah.
All right. So now let's see.
Oh, sorry. Arlene said that the lighting was making it hard to see the cards. Let me pull it up for you. I don't know if that. Okay, that's the Magician. Oh, sorry. You see that better? Is that good?
Yeah. I think,
Oh,
yeah, I could see that up close like that.
okay.
That's a beautiful
Yeah,
card.
yeah. And then that's the Empress. And then the Pentacle, the Eight of Pentacle. You
That's
see
beautiful.
this? They're strong. They're not just strong, but they're actually quite adept at what they're doing, and they're positive about the outcome of their finances. Oh my goodness! For some reason, I pulled 3 cards, but for some reason, maybe because I put it back with this one. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it there. I think it's because I had put back the cards. One more came out with it for some reason. The wands. Maybe there's a reasoning for that. The Ace of Wands. Um, and I don't know if that may have a meaning in the sense of it feels as if you also have your own latent talent that you want to work creatively with, whether it's writing or um, artistically speaking or something like that, something that you yourself can create that will also bring you money on the side. Okay? All right.
Awesomeness.
Okay.
All right. So now our next question is from Arlene. Rhonda, I've been stuck for quite some time. I've decided to seek out vocational rehab. Good for you. And I'm wondering if vocational rehabilitation will help you. Well, let's take a look and see if it will.
Oh, there she goes with that shuffling that I cannot do. My feet.
It's because I used to play a lot of cards when I was a kid.
Yeah, you card shark, you, I know.
That's me. Ooh, very nice. Very nice. You're going to do just fine with your vocational rehabilitation. Now, this is the John Holland Psychic Tarot. And our first card that we have here is the base chakra card. The base chakra card is about stability, putting roots down into something, how you make your money, vitality, that sort of thing. So getting this card means that by going through vocational rehab, you'll be able to find a career that you can actually put roots down in and have a stable income coming in. That's good. We also have the Prosperity Begins card, which means not only will money or prosperity come to you, it's going to come to you through help. You see the two hands together in the tree and the fruit? It's about relationships also that grow and bear fruit. So there's also going to be people that are going to help you, maybe in the career itself or maybe in the rehab program. Now, the cautionary card is triumphant success. You will do well because you do have the triumphant success. However, this sword means that this is a battle that was won, which means there is a battle to be won. And so you may have to, really persevere at this or arrange your schedule so that you can, learn what you want to learn. There is going to be some trials with this, which you will overcome because you have triumphant success, but they're just letting you know it's not going to be an easy breezy thing to do. There are some challenges that you're going to have to face and overcome. But overall, you'll be able to make money. You'll have people helping you and supporting you, and you will have a strong and stable foundation for your new job or career. So I say definitely go for it because I think that sounds, everything's looking good with that. So definitely roll with that. All right, Goddess Star, your next question is...
Actually, really quickly, Debbie said that when I pulled the wand card, it kind of, she was drawn to that card, and maybe there was a reason that somehow that card came in there, and maybe that was for you.
Right.
You never know, because sometimes that happens, So
right.
just, think of that and what it meant when I said it. All right? Okay, go ahead, sweetie.
All right, Goddess Star, here is your next question, which is, this is from Soul Merkaba Akoma, who says, what do you see for just my life right now? I know it's a broad question.
Okay. Okay, I saw in there somebody said, I love to see witches shuffle deck. It's very meditative. I don't think they meant me. So this is as meditative as it gets for me with the cards. I am not great at shuffling. It's always been this high joke with Goddess Rhonda and myself.
The right answer, it doesn't matter.
I know, right? That's the way I see it. That's the way I've always seen it. I don't care about that. I'm not good. But then when I hear you going, all these things, I'm like, uh-oh. Okay. Said, just in general, what? What's the question? Sorry, repeat that.
Okay, let me scroll back up because I was looking at other questions. So let me just go right back up again. Great
cards.
Bear with me for a moment.
I
think we're almost there.
I think she was asking a general question.
Here it is. What do you see? This is from Soul Merkaba Akoma.
Okay.
And the question is, what do you see for just my life right now? Like what's coming up in her life right now, or what's happening in her life right now?
Okay. Um, she is actually, she's got a few things going on in her universe right now. She's and look at the cards that she's got. There's that create card, which is the Five of Wands. Can you see that? Is
Put
that
it, you
clear
know
to
what,
see?
lower
Yeah.
it a little bit and just push it closer. A
Is
little
that
bit.
good?
That's it. Now we can see it. Push it. Oh, that looks beautiful. Perfect.
Okay. That's the Five of Wands. And look at that universe. She's got it basically in her whole hand. She's got it surrounding her and all these of choices. I forget, not things. She's got all these choices and thoughts, ideas all around her, surrounding her, all the things that she wants to accomplish and do. Universe right now, in a way, that's why she's trying to figure out what's going on right now with me, because all over the place that's going on, because she's beaming with ideas and thoughts and things that she would like to accomplish.
Right.
And she has choices to make in a way. But in a way, a lot of what she has around her, they're all great choices.
Right.
So whichever way that she goes with it, I think it will help her in general. Go with more with, I would suggest more, because of the wands, I would go more with her creative end. Whatever it is that your art, your talent, your gift, use that gift to attain some of the things that you want to, your goals that you want to accomplish. Allow that to come out more, because I think you have a tendency to not that you push it aside, but you have this tendency to not have enough, what's the word? Not have enough, the word is not coming to. Yes, not enough confidence in your own work or your own talents. And you need to be able to have that to help you go forward with it. And I would say, coming up wise, you would be doing a little bit of traveling, because the moon is involved. There's a traveling, there's some choices to be made. And some may feel like it's a little bit difficult, but it's not really. Don't make things difficult. Just let it slide itself and let it learn to kind of flow with it. Go with the flow, kind of a thing. This is the moon card. Is that good? Can you see that well?
Let's see. I'm sorry. I was looking at the chat room. Yes, it's perfect.
Okay. So I don't know if that answers your question, but I hope it does, because I see so much potential here and talent, but you do have this tendency to not have enough confidence in yourself. And you do have it. You should have it, because you're talented. All right? I hope that answers your question.
All righty then. So now let's see. I'm going to scroll back up, because we also have a whole bunch of comments here.
Okay.
Let me go up and see what we got here. Debbie can't wait to eat turkey and enjoy her family. Good for you, Deb. And of course, Dale agrees that it should be spent with family. We've answered that. We answered that. All right, Nate, I'm going to go through the computer. Okay, so No School, who we know is our darling Nate, is making fun of me by saying, I seriously choose as my one power the ability to know who's flirting with me. Ha, ha, ha. You know, Nate, I'm beginning to think you will never let me live this down. And that's okay, because it's funny every time you bring it up, so it's all good. Feel free
She was not paying attention, Nate. That's all it was. It flew right over her head.
It just went chink. Okay. Debbie, I think having a gift power to allow my muse to inspire me creatively. Very nice. Let's see. Soul says, I know holidays are now set up to spend time with loved ones, but many are based on others' pain or fallacies. Hi, Vaughn. Hi, J.K. Lowe. Let's see. Debbie S. loves The Last Airbender. Arlene still has a toy from the McDonald's promotion of The Last Airbender. That was a long time ago. Wow, you still
Worth
have that.
something, right? That must be
That's probably worth something by now.
Yeah.
Debbie says that she believes that global warming is having a huge effect on weather. I totally agree. I think as for bad weather, at least energies to keep people safe. I'm totally for that. Arlene says the indigenous peoples of North America talk about the great purification. And Arlene liked the one that was about the concussion sound, or sending out that sound, because she says that it could like you could use that sound to knock down a wall like Jericho. Ellen says, as a science major, all energy is created by matter. Excuse me. Um, Vong says, Miss Rhonda, what is all these talks about chakra removing, and is it safe? Well, let's come back to that because we're going to talk about that for a minute. Catalin, anything good? Okay, so Catalin, we're going to stop. I'm going to stop the comments right there because that's a question. Okay, so going back up to Vong, who says, what is all these talks about chakra removals and is it safe? Now, I'm not quite sure if you're saying, is it safe to remove a chakra from the body? I don't know that you can remove it. If you can, I would say it was completely unsafe. Chakras play a role, just like your lungs play a role so that you can have air, and your eyes play a role so that you can see. The chakras have various roles that they play. Our crown chakra is our direct connection to the divine, how we think, and it rules the etheric body of the aura. The third eye chakra represents the celestial body, how we see the future, our intuition. All these things are very important. Our base chakra, our root chakra, is our vitality, our money, our ability to support ourselves. We need those. And so anyone who says, oh, let's go ahead and remove a chakra, I'm going to just say flat out, keeping in mind, I'm not quite sure what they're trying to say or what they're getting at, so I don't know what their point is. But on the surface of it, I'd say that that's pretty unsafe and not a very wise thing to do. What do you think
But
about removing chakras, Star? Got a star?
I agree with you entirely, but I'm going to say this part. It's an interesting thing that because today I noticed it on Facebook, people were talking about the chakra and yoga and things like that, and how other religions view it. And based on the way other religions view it, that's the reason why they say to remove it, because they believe that anything dealing with yoga, chakra, all of that is demonic. Pathway into evil and onto demons and
Really?
daemons. My love, I looked at it and I just said, okay, I'm not even going to comment. I'm going to just walk away. I am going to just walk away from this, because they literally, it was all about how apparently the Christians and the Catholics believe that it's very demonic. So if you are opening your chakra or healing your chakra or anything your chakra and yoga positions and all of that, it is considered demonic. So hence let's remove it, because it is demonic. If we remove it or close it up, there's no demonic beings coming through those areas. And that's what I've heard even as of today. So with that in mind, I'm stepping back from that, and I am so not going there with that one.
Oh, that is just, I'm just, because naturally now I have to look at everything now.
Yes, that
I
was
don't
like
get to.
a big topic today, and it ended up being this long thing of people commenting, and that's when I realized that a lot of people were seeing it as demonic, and one guy was saying, he's obviously a witch. He was saying, well, first of all, it's not demon, it's daemon, and where it came from, and he went down the list. I was just like, you cannot really argue with people who are of different faiths, because unless they're open-minded, they're very closed off, because that's what they're taught. And you really can't. You just can't. You're wasting your time.
Well, I'm just reading this one thing that says that chakras are actually astral implants, like somebody just stuck them in us to control us. I'm sorry. I'm just going to tell you this. Everyone is entitled to their belief, and, rock on if that's what you want to do. Have your chakras removed because you don't want to be controlled astrally. Rock on, no judgment here. However, I am probably not going to look at this ever again because in my eyes and with my belief system, it's ridiculous. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say something else. You know, when someone decides to come up with a bright idea like these people, I'm looking at this website and they're like, oh, you know, if you remove the chakras and you get your energy from your central core and blah, blah, blah. Well, the chakras feed your central core. Your chakras feed them those energies. And so if you want to go ahead and have your chakras removed, which I'm telling you is probably not possible since it's a part of your energetic system and to disrupt, you know, that's like saying, well, I might as well just go ahead and pull my lungs out of my chest because then I'll just be able to absorb the air instead of having to inhale it. I think, and hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're right. Maybe chakras are astral implants by aliens, and maybe we're all being controlled by some higher being from controlling our chakras. Do I believe that? No. And do I respect your right to believe that? Absolutely. But from what I know about the chakra and the energetic systems, I don't know everything. I'm going to flat out say I think it's just does not resonate with me and sounds exceedingly unsafe. And that's
Also,
all I'm going to say
yeah,
about
I
it.
would add to it that also, along with it being unsafe and all of that, and again, respect to you for your beliefs. One of the things you have to consider that whole if they if they remove your chakra and they what was the energy is it was what was it called, energetic core?
Yeah, so that you can be right now your energetic core is free.
Okay, I gotta tell you guys, all they've done is I'm gonna remove that word chakra and now I'm gonna give you a new name and put it back. Okay, I am sorry, but that's what it sounds like because you cannot remove the chakra, but just in case, you know, all I gotta do is switch the name on you and you've got a new energetic core. No chakra needed. Mm, right? I mean,
Yeah,
it's just a
yes,
matter of
again.
switch that name around and make you feel better. Whatever suits your color, whatever floats your boat. I'll switch that name around and now it's my energetic core and it's no longer a chakra and it's removed. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you know, and if you want to believe that, I have a bridge.
I
I
was
have a bridge
trying
for
not to go
sale.
there. I was truly trying not to go there. And you
I'm
did.
sorry, I
You
shouldn't say
just
that.
took that
I
leap of
have a bridge
faith and
for
goes, okay,
people.
I can't say it anymore. I got to jump the bridge.
I am
Until that
sorry.
bridge to you.
That wasn't nice. I understand people have a right to their own beliefs. I've said what I had to say, and that's
I
all
know.
I'm going to
I
say
was
about
like, she's not. I'm not going. I'm now making some little remarks, and then I'm going. As we step further, we're going, and she doesn't.
I couldn't help myself. I tried to shut up. I just, you know, that's I don't get to go on Facebook much, so I didn't get to see that, and so I just had to go and look and see what people are saying about it, and just be careful who you believe. Please just do extra research and don't just say, oh, well, these people say if I remove the chakras, I'm right in touch with my energetic core and I'm more psychic and blah, 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 blah. So,
Yeah.
if
All they
anything, how do you know that these people aren't saying that to diminish your power, to do something to you to take your power away from you so that you can be controlled? Don't just
again.
believe what everybody says. So that's all I'm going to say is just investigate
Rename. That's all they've done is rename it.
so that they can sell a book or a system or something. It's just I don't even.
Isn't that what they did with The Secret? That's
Yes,
all they did. Yeah.
yes.
So there you go.
All righty. So our next question. Did you do the last question or did I do the last question?
I did the last one, I
Okay,
think.
so our next question is Carolyn Matza, who says, "Is there anything good coming up in my near future?" So near future, I'm going to say 60 days, 90 days. Well, let's do 90 days because that's 3 months from now is a pretty near future. Let's take a look. All righty, let's look and see. Oh, that's good. All right. So the first card that we pulled is the Stand Your Ground card. And I'm guessing you see this card well, got a star?
Yes.
Okay, good. So the first card that we have is the Stand Your Ground card, which means you're going to pretty much kind of stay in the same kind of a place right now. You're going to, now it doesn't mean that things are not going to transform better, because they are. I have some other cards for you. But as far as like jobs and things like that, it looks like things are either just going to stay pretty stable or pretty much how they are now. Or you're going to be, because when we have the Stand Your Ground card, it can also mean that you are unwilling to change something in your life. You're just like, oh no, I'm not changing, I'm going to stay here. Now, the good cards that we have supporting that is we have the spiritual awareness, talking about chakras. Here's the crown chakra. It looks like in the next 3 months, you're going to be going more deeply into your spirituality, maybe developing your own intuition, maybe connecting more strongly with deity, really getting a good sense of your spirituality, which is something that you love to do anyway with the heart chakra card. And it looks like someone may be helping you with your spirituality or how to develop your gifts or your techniques, because you have the partnerships and alliances, and you can see the hands, one hand supporting and holding the other person up or pulling the other person up. So someone is going to
Wow.
be really influential in helping you on your spiritual journey. But it looks like over the next 3 months, you are going to be diving much more deeply into your spirituality, which is something that you will love. You'll really get into it. And you're going to have a teacher or a mentor or someone who's going to be working that journey with you and boosting you up or pulling you up into it. I say that's good stuff coming up. I think that's good. And so it looks like
Yeah.
you've got, good things coming up for you over the next 3 months. And it seems like they're mainly spirituality based. So there you have it.
Goddess, I think, yeah, I think you should read some of the comments because I don't always see the comments properly in turn. So some of it
Okay.
was interesting. I think it's based on what some of the things we've said.
All righty. Well, let me go back up then, and then we'll read. We read that one. We read that one. Hold on. Bear with me. Okay, Arlene says, ooh, sexy wee man has my Charles. Oh, I
I
believe
think
that
she's
was
speaking
that
about
part with the.
the eight of pentacle card that she saw.
You know what, Arlene? I was going to say something about that picture of the
You
biceps,
naughty women.
but
You
I was
naughty women.
trying
Oh my
to
goddess.
say nothing and just like, okay, that's some serious eye candy, but I decided to shut up. And so I'm glad that you said it, because yes, he's very sexy on that card. Debbie S. also feels like the Ace of Wands spoke to her. Let's see. Arlene shuffles cards like me, like she works in Atlantic City. And her grandma taught her card games. Very cool. We've got Soul, who says, I love to see witches shuffle and the cards. It's so meditative. Awesomeness. Um, Debbie says, to the cards, am I making the right choice in switching doctors? So I don't want to lose the question because it's a lot of comments. So I'll read the comments after you answer her question, got a star.
Okay.
So her question is, am I making the right choice in switching doctors?
Wow. It's funny. She's making choices because they're being presented to her as choices. Um, but in a way, she feels like she's between a rock and a hard place because um, one of the doctors is that she has is someone who's been with her for a bit. But she's not either comfortable or she's not, is that she thinks, oh, they're not taking her seriously enough. So she feels like she needs to move forward. And I do believe that you need to sometimes change. Yeah, I believe you're going to be changing doctors because you feel like you need to get a second opinion, or not just a second opinion, but you feel like you're not being taken seriously. right now, or things are just not, it just doesn't feel right to you. So you feel like you need to do the changes.
Right.
So I think you will be doing that anyways. Whether it's the right choice or not, I think you're going to do, but even if I say it is or it isn't, indicated it's the right choice for you
Right.
right now, if that makes sense. A majority of times it makes sense to you, but it's just not to me. So I hope it does make sense to you.
Awesome.
Okay.
And I just want to say to that, if you've got some trepidation about changing doctors because you've been with one for a long time, I'll tell you something funny. Um, I went to my pediatrician back in the olden days. Pediatricians came to your house when you were sick, and I loved my pediatrician, Dr. Bayari. I just loved him, and I refused to leave him. I was still going to. You mind, he's a pediatrician. I was 23 and still going to him. And I would go into this doctor's office, and you see the little kids sitting on their little chairs looking at me like I'm crazy, like, why are you here seeing our doctor when you're like a grown up, obviously? And finally, Dr. Bayari said to me, Rhonda, babe, it's illegal for me to like help you anymore. I'm a pediatrician. You're gonna have to grow up and get another doctor. And I cried like a baby. I sat there sobbing, saying, you can't leave me, Dr. Bayari, because he's all I'd known for 23 years. He's like, I promise you, I'll get you a great doctor, but I can't see you anymore. So yes, I got fired by my pediatrician. I got thrown out at 23. So I do understand the fear of change and not wanting to change. I thought I'd share that with you if that helps you at all. If not, it's just a random embarrassing story that I couldn't let go of my pediatrician. Anyway, all right. So let's going back to our chat room um, questions. We have Flamethrower Love 322 says, my income pays my bills and I am thankful for it. I have severe anxiety about increasing my income as I feel, hold on, my thing just moved all by itself. I have severe anxiety about increasing my income as I feel I don't deserve it or that it will only lead to trouble. How do I move forward? It's interesting that you say that because I had this conversation with someone and I was saying, gee, I wish I could win the Powerball because I have all these great plans that I want to do with all this money. God, Star and I talk about it all the time. The things we would do if we had millions, how we could help people and build communities and things like that. And the person I was speaking to goes, oh no, you always hear about people and they win the lottery and then their life goes to hell and blah, blah, blah. I said, well, the reason their life goes to hell is that they had no vision beyond winning the money. They win all this money and then they don't know what to do with it. And so they squander it. They had no vision of wanting to build community or wanting to do things with it. So now, as far as you having anxiety over winning this money, I want to make sure I'm not frozen. Am I frozen, Got a Star?
No, you're not. You're
Okay,
moving. Everything's good.
okay, perfect. So, because on the other one, it looks like it's frozen, but it could be just my computer. So here's what I want you to do. A lot of us were raised, I know I personally was raised in the Christian church where you're literally screamed at from the pulpit that money is the root of all evil and blah, 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 blah. And so you can grow up feeling like, oh no, if I have money, it's going to cause me to be evil or things like that. That's the same thing as having a gun. A gun's not going to make you go out and be a serial killer. That's up to you to do that. But that can also, because we heard that as children, that rich people, we may have a bad image of rich people, that they don't care about anybody, they don't care about themselves. And that's where you can start to feel anxiety because of the life script that was taught you when you were a child. So what I tell people that have a hard time with trying to manifest more money in their lives, what I tell them is, don't think about yourself then. If you were that selfless, and you're obviously a selfless person, because you don't want to feel like, oh, I'm just getting money that someone else could have or things like that. think in terms, let's change your perspective on that. Because you want to help people, and obviously I can feel that in your energy, how much more people could you help if you had money? How much of a better life could you give your children or your parents in their old age if you had more money? Since you have a problem with putting the perspective on you to have all this money and it doesn't feel good to you, let's talk about the other people in your life that it could help. Let's take you out of the equation. If you have elderly or aging parents, there comes a time when they're going to need help. I'm facing that right now with my father, who's in his 80s. They may need to go into a nursing home. Nursing homes cost about $7,000 a month. They may need doctor's care. Maybe your children, they want to go to college. You'd like to fund them with that. Imagine what you could do for your children if you had more money. You could maybe get a bigger home for them. You could pay for their college tuitions. You could get a car if you had to help some member of your family. If you wanted to help the community, let's just say, you're satisfied with the money that you make and you're satisfied with your home and things like that. If you had that extra money, how could you help the community with that? Could you donate money to battered women, or a rape crisis center, or a homeless teen shelter? Could you use that money to dedicate to a child who has cancer and their parents can't pay the bills? The best way for people who feel selfish asking for more money is to take yourself out of the equation and figure out how having more money would enable you to help other people, which is really what feeds your soul anyway. So this way you don't have to say, oh, I'm being selfish because I want $1 million. You could say, wow, I could feed so many homeless children if I had $1 million. And that's how you can move yourself forward with that, with a good conscience. It's your conscience that's stopping you because you're like, oh my goodness, here I am. I'm asking for more money, and there's homeless people on the street and homeless children and all kinds of things going on in the world. Well, imagine you could take your extra money. I knew a woman who had the good fortune of marrying a millionaire, and she worked every day, and she took her entire paycheck and donated it to the ASPCA because she loved animals. She didn't have to work. She was married to a millionaire. She dedicated her entire paycheck to the ASPCA every week because she loved animals and wanted animals to be safe. So if you take yourself out of the equation and think about the people that you can help, be it your parents as they get old, and believe me, anyone who has parents, I don't care if they are young and spry now and doing great, there may come a time, there's a probability as they get into their 80s and 90s that they're going to need help. And so, we always think about putting money away for our kids. You really should put money away or think about your parents, because that's not something that my siblings and I thought of. But now that my father is in his 80s and, having to go into a facility, you don't think about those. But imagine if we had the money that we could pay for any facility that they wanted to go into.
Right.
Or you could buy a home and have in-law quarters that your parents can live with you. Like one of my cousins did that. He bought a home and had in-law quarters so that his aging mother could live with him and he could care for her. So take yourself out of the equation, and so that you don't feel selfish, and turn it into, how can I use this money to be of good to feed my soul? And that can give you the impetus and the innovation, the ambition, I should say, to get out there and make more money so that you can be of greater good to the world. If you don't want to use that money on yourself, then you can help your kids, help your parents, help animals, help whoever it is that you want to help. And that can help you with feeling guilty, because you no longer have to feel guilty because you're doing something for a charitable purpose. And that's what feeds your soul. So hopefully that will help you with that. So you don't have to worry that, oh, I'm going to get money and I'm going to lose it, or it's going to lead to trouble. It will only lead you to trouble if you allow trouble to lead you. All you have to do is take your money and decide what charitable things or what good things you want to do with it. And then you can say, you know what, wow, I really want to help animals. I need to make more money to do that. Or wow, I want to help children who are sick and can't afford to pay, their parents can't afford to pay their bills. I can give them money for that. Or wow, I want to help, orphans who are living in a home and they don't have Christmas presents this year. Imagine if I had the money that I could give orphans Christmas presents this year. If I could give 100 kids a present this year. Take yourself out of the equation, and then you don't have to feel guilty about anything because you're doing it for the good of others, which is going to feed your soul anyway. So hopefully that helped you with that. Okay, so Goddess Star. Now, I'm not sure if this is a question, but we're going to put it as a question to help her. We have Arlene, who has problems with concentrating and has low self-esteem challenges. What do your cards say that Arlene can do to help her with her low? What does she need to do to fix her low self-esteem challenges and perhaps help her concentrating?
Um, Honestly speaking, I don't think that's a card question. I think it's more of like how you answered that question
Oh, then
before.
by all means answer it.
Yeah,
How you
I
feel
think
best to
I
answer.
think it's more of in terms of low self-esteem. One of that you said a mouthful with it about it before, in a sense, because that could be applied for the self-esteem. We have a tendency to we could turn and say, Goddess Rhonda, you're beautiful, but we never look at us and say we're beautiful inside and out. We our self-esteem in general, because either whether it's a family member or even your mom or your dad or whomever have said certain things to you over the years, and you begin to believe it. So you yourself um, do not see yourself with worth. And if you look at a lot of the things that you do for people, or because majority of times when you have what people consider or what you consider low self-esteem, you're the person that's always reaching out to help people in one
Right.
form or another. That right there says to me that you have a lot there to offer to the world and to yourself. Your self-esteem is based on no longer on outside people. You cannot allow it. It has to be based on you, because nobody else around you, if they're not helping pick you up and make your self-esteem uh uh get back that self-esteem that's there for you, then you have to do it yourself. One of the things I tell people is it's based on self-love. It's a kind of a thing of where you can reach out depending on how you feel. You can create your own oil and bath salt, literally start learning to love yourself, because part of the low self-esteem is a lack of certain love for yourself. So if you can in any way find or do things that I guess what will basically would be, if you can do some more things for yourself, to see for yourself that, okay, I love myself, or even do affirmations. There's a meditation that what's his name, Christopher Penczak has in the one with the heart. What's that book that he has with the heart? I forgot the name of it.
You said it's a
Meditation
book with a
about,
heart on it?
and it's some the name of it is also heart. And it's a Christopher Penczak book, and it's all about teaching you about self-love and self-worth. And the whole meditation is all about saying certain affirmations like, um, I love myself. And when you're saying it, don't just say it. You vibrate the word, I love myself. The vibration goes through your entire body. It's called vibrational energy. So when you're saying it, I love myself. I deserve love.
Okay,
Universe loves me.
it's
I'm
called
sorry?
it's called The Witch's Heart.
There you
The
go. That's the
Magic
one.
of
The
Perfect
Witch's Heart.
Love and Perfect Trust. So I'll put that link.
Yes. That book has a great meditation in it. And the meditation is all about learning to not reach outside yourself for that self-esteem and that love, because it's all connected. The self-love, the self-esteem, all of that is connected. So that whole thing about the vibrational and the self-affirmations, about I love myself, I deserve love, the universe provides me with this love, all these different kinds of things that you say and you do it on a daily basis, it builds your self-esteem up because it begins to vibrate through your body, that you begin to believe it. You have to believe it for yourself because it's vibrating through your body on a daily basis. The same way that you wake up every day and you do for everybody else, do for you. Build up for you so that you see yourself. I'll tell you, I am so in love with myself. I teach this class so much about self-love and self-esteem and self-worth that I am so in love with myself. I date myself. I tell you guys that all the time, right? I take myself out for a date. I go to the movies. I take myself to dinner. I love myself, and the universe loves me for myself. I gain my love from myself. It's great if your son or your daughter or your husband or your wife or whomever loves you, but the first person that has to love you is you. If you don't love yourself, I don't know how you can expect it from anyone else, because you have to first love yourself. And that's something a lot of people have a hard time with. I know many people in my small circle of association that is so great with saying how much they love other people and bringing their self-esteem up. And they have such a hard time saying it to themselves. I've watched them break down in front of me because they can't even say it to themselves. So that's something I think that everybody has to learn to start to work with, and going from there. And it's not just, it will build your self-esteem up to such a degree that literally you're basically saying, I don't need anybody's outside attention to tell me my self-worth or my self-esteem, because it's all in here. It's me. And whether I know what you look like, I can see your aura and your energy, and you're a beautiful person on your own. And you don't need anyone to tell you that, but I'm telling it to you anyways. Goddess Rhonda and I say to each other all the time how beautiful we are, because we are.
We are.
We are all gods and goddesses, or lords and ladies, or whatever you want to say to yourself. And find in that book also, what I like is, and it's part of what I teach too, find a god and goddess, whether it's a god and goddess of love or a god and goddess that you have a connection with, and work with that goddess also, or god, to help raise your self-esteem as well. They work really well with you for that. Reach out to them for that, so that that's something. It's also a lot of times it's also not just building your self-esteem. It builds your spirituality with yourself, with your gods and goddesses, with who you are, and all of that. It's a combination of things that kind of happens together. So you're kind of covering a whole lot of things all at once. And it really works, and it helps. And yes, there are rituals that you can do with people together. If you have a good group of people, whether it's 4 or 5 people, that you can work well with a ritual like that, it's a great ritual to do together. All right. I hope that helps you. If you have any other questions with it, you're always welcome to message me or contact me through, what was it that we do? Charm by Star at Hotmail, or whatever means that you need to get a hold of us, whether it's myself or Goddess Rhonda, because I know she also works with that as well. So we would gladly help you with that further. But I think if you get that Witch's Heart book, I'm telling you, it's very helpful in terms of guiding you with it. All right?
Awesomeness. And I'm with you. I actually married myself. I promised to love, honor, and cherish myself.
There you go, girl.
And I love, honor, and
I
cherish myself. And I don't
exactly.
need anybody else to do that for me. But
Yep.
don't worry, Goddess. We know that you are beautiful and you're going to get this. So you're going to be okay.
She's
All
got a
right.
beautiful personality.
Absolutely. And you're going to be just fine. So I'm going to look at the comments until I come to another question. So we've got Vong, who says, Flame, have more confidence, manifest out. Whoops, I lost my page. Come back, page. There it is. Okay. Flame, have more confidence, manifest out the universe and say that you deserve it and trust in the universe. Arlene, thanks us. Thanks, Rhonda. Thanks, Goddess Star. Let's see. Soul says, release the fear and work with a black or red stone to clear yourself. I agree. Now, this might be something that Goddess Star would be. Goddess Star, Debbie says there should be a tarot card shuffling machine.
Debbie, girl, I love you. I'm right there because my hands just does not do what Goddess Rhonda's hands does. It does the card hard shuffle, but you know what? It works. I have been reading for people for so many years, and they watch me do this funny looking card shuffle thing, and it works. I don't care. She's wonderful. Thank you, Debbie. Hand me that card shuffling one, okay? That's my gift. I'll accept Yule gift here.
Monica's on your side too. Monica says, shuffle how you want. The cards know you and your energy. And Soul loves your voice. She says, I love your voice, Goddess Star.
Aw, thank you.
And then we have Vong, who says, why do I feel sick at work? Is there an entity there at work trying to poison me? I'm an empath. Okay, so Vong, here's the thing with that. And a lot of people will start with, especially as empaths, and I don't know what kind of work that you do, but if you start going to work and you start feeling sick, it's probably not so much an entity that's trying to poison you. There are probably so many people's energies coming at you, or someone around you is sick and they may not be saying so. And so you're picking up on everybody else's energies, or you may be working with a sick person. That sick person might not even know that they're sick, and you're picking it up because of the energy that you're putting out. So the real question here is, because as an empath, you can be picking up all kinds of energies, and it's probably you could be actually on overload and need to empty out your spiritual garbage can, your energetic garbage can, because you could just have too many cords in you, things like that. If you, I've got plenty of videos that will teach you how to get that off of you. But more importantly, is learning how to shield yourself, because you have to go to work, and there's nothing worse than going to work and knowing there's going to be all kinds of crappy energy around you. You're going to feel sick, and that's going to be frustrating, and then that can hamper your ability to make money. So what you want to do is, if you know you're an empath, before you leave the house, you want to shield up. Now, there's different ways that you can do that. I'm going to give you several different ways for you to help yourself. Way number one, which may be the easiest for you, is to come up with a color, go inside yourself and ask yourself, what color to me represents protection? It could be any color you like, red, yellow, white, green, blue, purple, whatever color represents safety and protection for you. And then I want you to imagine that you are surrounded by that color with the intention that it allows fresh energy, nurturing energies in, because you need that, but blocks adverse draining energies out. So you can practice with color therapies to see what's going to help you to surround yourself. Now, that doesn't mean you have to sit there. It's like, okay, the color blue protects me all day long, color blue, color blue. Once you set that color, when you leave the house, say, I am surrounded by the energy of the color blue that's going to keep me nurtured with fresh, clean energy and block bad energies out. Set that intention and walk out the door and know that your shield is holding up. The other thing that you can do is, I want you to imagine that there is a screen door in front of you, a regular old screen door. And now I want you to imagine that that screen door is made of golden light. And it also lets fresh energy in. You know, like you open the screen door in the springtime and the fresh air comes in, but it blocks the bugs and the insects and things you don't want in. You can try a screen to put in front of yourself. You can try the door. What I call the safe zone of last resort is to figure out where do you feel the safest. It could be in your car, your house, in your recliner, in your bed, wherever it is that you feel the safest. And then when you go to work, imagine that you are not at work, you're actually in your safe space. So really learning how to shield yourself and also how to get other people's energies off of you so that you can maintain your own energetic good health and not get sick, excuse me, from someone else's illness. Because again, you could be sitting next to someone who's severely ill and doesn't know it yet. And you can be picking up on that from those energies, or you could be overloaded. So, on this YouTube channel, if you go to my empath playlist, which you can see from the homepage, and go to the video of how to remove the cords, karma, and burdens of others to get other people's energies off you and heal up your energetic system, that will help you. One of the things I stress to empaths is you cannot lead a regular life like you're just a normal person, because you're not. You're a highly spiritual being. And so there are certain protocols that you need to maintain your energetic good health. And that means you've got to keep other people's energies off of you so that you don't get sick and you don't get drained. Because I can guarantee you the person who's making you sick is feeling better because they're taking your energy to make them feel better and giving you their sick energy. And so you want to defend yourself. So I want you to practice different shielding techniques. You could try the color therapy, try a screen door. What is your safe space? But also go and do that, how to remove the cords, karma, and burdens of others to get other people's energies off of you. And then you'll be okay. I'm pretty sure you're on overload, which can happen to all of us. But we don't want you to start. I know you feel sick, but we don't want you to get anything seriously ill because it can translate physically. So we don't want you to get someone else's physical illness. And so, aside, because wherever you go, no matter where you work, you're going to be sucking in energies. Just go to the grocery store. And so you want to make sure that you are following protocols that keep you energetically clean and healthy. It's the same way some people get up in the morning and they exercise or, do things. The same way you get up in the morning, you take a shower, you're also going to need to shower your energy. And so also understanding the colors and learning the colors of the chakras, making sure you put them back. But my video on how to remove the cords, karma, burdens of others will take those energies off and shore up the energetic system. And so there you have it. Because that is a common complaint amongst empaths. It's like, okay, whose stomach ache do I have? Because it's not mine. Or whose headache do I have? And so there you have that. All right, we're already running out of time, so I'm going to rush around now. We've got Debbie, check physical environment, allergies, etc. Then see about maybe there might be someone nearby with a spirit. Eclectic Goddess says, I have been feeling stagnant spiritually. Oh my, I wish it would stop doing that. My computer, it just scrolls down by itself. Now I've got to scroll back up. Bear with me, guys. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Someone, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we did the card shuffle machine. Okay. Wow, this really scrolled really far. Okay, bear with me, everybody, please. Oh, boy.
And
Hold on.
we didn't choose our powers though anyway.
I know. We'll have to, you know, hang on. I'm trying to, it really scrolled far. Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go. We did that one. We did that one. Now we're getting close. Okay, Eclectic Goddess. Okay, Goddess Star, here's your question. Eclectic Goddess says, I have been feeling stagnant spiritually for a while now. Will this be lifting soon?
Okay, that one I would say I would answer with the card, but I would say in a way that is not necessarily a card question. That's more of a because to me, you have to live your spiritual life like one of the things that I have to say is take a page from the Christians and the Catholics. They live, breathe, smell, whatever it is, their religion. A lot of witches do not do that. You don't need anything to wait on to um, bring your spirituality back. You have to literally live it. Wake up every day, do a prayer or a ritual or a spell of success or a spell of spirituality, or say hello to your deity, your god or goddess, whatever it is, and you speak to them, and your spirituality takes on its own life, because a lot of what I've seen lately, and it's happening a lot lately. You're not the only one that's happening to, where to have that whole stagnant spirituality thing going on, is because I believe that a lot of them that I've seen, they're not living and breathing it as that witch. It never stops. It's not something that you take a break from. It's not a fad to you. This is your life. So the same way that you take a breath every day is the same way you live your spirituality. If you ask either myself or Goddess Rhonda, I don't ever recall ever feeling a stagnancy for my spirituality, because I don't know, this is just me. This is what I am. And to me, taking that page from a Christian, and that's how I teach it to a lot of my students. If this is not something, and in general, whether you're a witch or otherwise, if this, whatever your spirituality is, if it's not something that you live, breathe, eat, smell, taste, whatever, all day long, in every form, in one form or another, then whatever spirituality that or path you're on, maybe that's not the right one for you. Because if the right one is there for you in that sense, it's something that you just can't help but be. And if it feels like it's flagrant in the wind in any way, start to look at yourself. Again, that's based on whether it's self-esteem, lack of confidence. Sometimes it's even a bit of mistrust within your spirituality. Is this what I am? And if that's part of the questioning, then you need to take a step back and kind of reach out to your gods and goddesses and ask, do I still have that relationship with you? Or can I reconnect with you? Go with it from there. Create that relationship with your god and goddess. Once you do that, it's there. You can't help but have that spirituality there. Because once you connect with your gods and goddesses, or whatever spirit out there that you work with, or even your spirit guides, whatever it is out there, connect with it on a daily basis. Don't say it's once a month at full moon or new moon or the Sabbats. No. If you don't treat it as a daily thing, it will feel like you're having a stagnancy. I'm just saying that part. But if you want, I can do a reading on it. What was the question again?
Okay, so the question was, I have been feeling, excuse me, I have been feeling stagnant spiritually for a while now. Will this be lifting soon?
Yes. And part of that is the decision that you make next. You've been kind of is the word, yourself and things around you, kind of like you're alone, and it's like a lonely path that you're going. But one of the things I'll tell you something about that afterwards, because I have a tendency to go tangent. Let's do the reading part first. Part of it is that if you look at this, the stars, hold on. Can you see this properly? It's shining a bit, sorry.
It looks good.
Okay, that is the stars And if you look at the person, look at how peaceful they are. They're among the stars, they're among the waters, and they're very calm, they're surreal, the of being who they are and accepting who they are. So it's part of, I think you're going on this journey. That's what you'll call a spiritual journey of self. It's part of you're using everything that pertains to yourself, basically, whether it's your creative talents or your muse or whatever it is, you're using all of it, spirituality that you're trying to attain. And yes, it's something that will happen. I would say more, you will get fully there more around like spring, when it gets a little bit warmer. You it's a journey that you're on, and you have to finish that journey up. And by the time it gets to around that time, you're there. Like, okay, I'm never going to be without who I am and what it is that I want to attain spiritually speaking. Do hope that answers your questions.
Alrighty. Excuse me. Let's see what we have next. Okay, so our next question is from Raven. What are the names of my guides? What gods and goddesses are around me that want to work with me? And I was looking at that while Goddess Star was talking, and the goddess that came immediately to mind is the goddess Circe. And she's a Greek goddess. She was a nymph, a witch, an enchantress, a sorcerer, but she was renowned for her knowledge of potions and herbs and using wands. And so she's here to teach you about potions, herbs, using wands, basically about witchcraft and how to utilize it, how to work with the different things. She's here for that. As far as a god, I got Thor, who is an extremely strong Norse god. He's a nice guy. He's a major god, but mainly his thing is strength and loyalty. He's a loyal and honorable warrior, and he's very strong. And so he would like to work with you as well. He's a defender. He's a warrior, and he's basically kick ass. So maybe, I don't know if you've got somebody's ass you need to kick, or if you just need that sense of strength and power, physical power and strength. He wants to work with you as well. So that's Thor and Circe as your guides and people and God and Goddess to work with you. Hopefully that helps you, but look them up and hook up with them because they can help you. Okay, so just quickly, I'm going to...
Oh, and one quick suggestion with people in general. I know we all kind of reach out to the old gods and goddesses. Look around you at the new ones. You've got so many around you. The subway, the electrical god or goddess, whatever it is. Look around you, and a lot of them, yes, we don't know their names because they're new. So get to know them, get to know their names, ask. I have some of my students that will tell me some names that they've gotten from some of the gods and goddesses of the subway or the different things in New York City. So I know they're there, they're alive in your city or wherever you are. Reach out to them and find out who they are. And a lot of them are quite willing to work with you because they're new. They want to be heard. They want to be acknowledged. So just reach out.
Okay, we have a comment by Monica. Bong and Rhonda, chakra removal is actually changing people. Okay, I love you, Monica. You know I love you, right? However, this whole thing with indigo children and crystal children and blah, 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 and all these labels, they are all fledgling witches. I don't care if you call them crystal children, indigo children, earth children, astral children. They all have the same powers. They all have the same abilities. They are all fledgling witches. It just drives me crazy. Well, one of my child is an indigo child. And then I've got a crystal. They're all, we can put a million labels on it. It's all, they're witches that have interesting abilities. And, you know, as far as the chakra removal, again, I only looked at one webpage about it. I'm sorry, because I work very heavily doing chakra work and energy work and all of the things that I've studied and everything that I do with my healing work for people and things like that. You know, people come to me from all over the place doing distance healings and things. Anything that takes, oh, if you take something away, you've got to put something back. And doing this chakra removal thing, I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to flat out say it. I'm sorry. I think it's ridiculous. I've been trying to hold that back. I just think it's ridiculous. I'm sorry. I do. And chakras is something I am an expert on. And, you know, I know people like to have labels and cutesy little things, indigo children and crystal children and blah, 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 blah. They are witches with abilities, with psychic abilities, healing abilities. They are witches. And I just hate that people just can't say, hey, my kid has the abilities. My kid's a witch or my kid's a magic person. Oh, it's got to be, it's more politically correct to say they're an indigo child or they're a crystal child or whatever kind of child it is. They're witches as we are, and they have our abilities. I don't know that anyone ever called me or Goddess Star an indigo child or a crystal child or anything like that.
Nope.
But you know what? We have all the abilities of those children with those labels. And so I just think that the universe, you know, not the universe, people like to label everything. And if there's a
Yeah.
way that they can label it and make money from it and get attention, they're going to do that. But we're talking about children who were born witches and they have these psychic and healing abilities. But you have to remember, a lot of people in their spirituality can't accept the fact that there are witches in the family. It's a lot easier for a Christian to say, or someone else of a different spirituality to say, well, you know, my child is an indigo child, because that doesn't carry the connotation of the word witch. These are people that are showing psychic abilities, healing abilities, things that we as witches have been showing for thousands of years, and no one ever labeled them as anything other than a witch. So that's just my personal opinion, of course. You know, there's people that feel free to argue with me. I know everyone's entitled to their opinion. All I'm saying is the children of 2,000 years ago who shared these same abilities that these children are having were not labeled as indigos and crystals and all the other rainbow children or whatever the hell it is that they call people nowadays. They were witches. They show the abilities of witches. They show the propensity to heal and to help as witches. And so these children are witches, you know, indigo, whatever. And I don't think that removing the chakras is going, I'm sorry. I've just studied chakras since the 80s, it's like 30 years. And removing him, you know, I just think it's outlandish and outlandishly ridiculous what I've read. But that again is my opinion. Maybe I don't want to deal with change or whatever. I don't think so, but everyone's entitled to their opinion. And that's mine on that. Okay, so let's see what else if we've got any
I
questions
was
here.
wondering when you were gonna crack under that.
I cracked. Okay, I cracked. I was doing just fine. Thanks a lot, Monica, because I was doing just fine. And then it was just like, okay, that's
She
it.
has to
That's
find
it.
someone to blame, Monica. Sorry, it's you.
Yes, we decided to blame you.
Yeah,
It's all your fault. So there.
yeah.
All right, we got time for one more question. I'm going to give it to you. And it is, I don't think Ellen would like to know if buying her new house was the right move, or is she in over her head?
Okay. I was just looking at some of the comments. It's just funny. Flame said, or something like that. You cannot remove your chakra.
I
Like
know,
the
and Monica's saying this, well, it's not removal. They merge all the chakras. From what I read, the word was remove. They didn't say merge. They said move to get to you, that you only have the core. Like I said, I only looked at one page, and I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to be looking at any other ones because the concept to me is just alien. So
ridiculous.
I'm
I
not
know.
going to do it. But anyway, let's get back to,
Okay, what was the question?
okay, the question was um, from Ellen. Hold on, there it is. Ellen would like to know if buying her new house was the right move, or is she in over her head?
Okay. I would say it's the right move because it's actually going to help you to settle. If you look at the three of pentacles, it's the right move for you. It's your nesting. It's your settling down and stabilizing for you. The issue is not a matter whether it's the right move. I see the issue as being, if you look at the Eight of Swords and what is it that you have? The Five of Wands. The Five of Wands got you there. Um, your muse, your ideas of stabilization of what you were craving for. Um, the Eight of Swords, the way that you see it, if you look at anything dealing with swords, means that there's some sort of a strife. Uh, um, whether it's something that you created or others around you have created, doubt in your mind as to whether this is the right thing for you. This was you and your inner core and everything telling you it was the right move. I would say this is the very right move for you. Um, I would also say do not allow everybody else on the outside to take away what you've accomplished with it. A lot of the times it's something that they have not accomplished. So they have a tendency to help create strife for what you've accomplished. I would say some of it you have allowed to get through to you in the sense of making you feel like maybe you made the wrong decision. In terms of whether it's over your head, I don't think so, because it's indicating that the money is there for you to do it. You just have to handle it wisely. Do not allow outside distractions to take you away from what your goals are. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but you do have some outside distractions that are making you doubt certain things that you can get done. Don't allow it, please. Okay? If that makes sense. All right? Thank you. I hope that answers your question. Look how peaceful.
That's beautiful. That is a
Look how
beautiful
peaceful and
card.
stabilized she is, and that's you. Don't, or rather, what you're going to accomplish. Don't allow them to take that away from you. Okay? Okie dokie.
That's a beautiful card. That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Right. She's like settled, stabilized. This is what she wants, and the money is there.
Well, you
Okay.
go, girl. That's excellent.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, we didn't get to finish our superpowers, but that's okay. We will continue with that later or another time. But as always, we are so appreciative of your love and your support. We love you to pieces
Yeah.
for being with us every week and supporting us and giving us your input and teaching us, because you open us up to a lot of things that we've never heard of, or things that we can look into. And Goddess Star and I love to learn. We are life learners. We just want to
Yes.
learn everything. And
Yes.
so it really helps us.
Yeah.
You let us know of different things that's going on out there, or things that we don't know about, or help us with ideas and things like that. We are extremely appreciative, and we love you so much. We wish you all
All the
a very
best.
happy new moon,
Yeah. Yeah. Happy
which I
blessed
believe is
moon.
tomorrow,
Yes.
and new moon in Scorpio. And so we hope that it's really good for you. And we will be back. I believe we're going to have Crystal Madison on Monday. Is Crystal's
I
coming on Monday,
believe so.
right?
I'm not sure. I will double check about that, but I believe she is.
Okay, so hopefully we will have her with us on Monday, the Witch of Sleepy Hollow, excuse me, of Sleepy
Okay.
Hollow. I always say Shady Hollow, and
I know. I don't know what is it with you and
I don't know
Shady.
why I do that. But she's a really cool chick. You'll
She
love her. She's
is. She's
funny as
awesome.
hell,
She's
and
truly awesome.
she's really funny. So hopefully she'll be with us, and if not, we'll do something else. But as always, we
Yes.
say merry meet,
Merry meet, merry
merry
part,
merry
and
meet.
merry meet again, everyone. And thank you again so much.
We love you.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Have a great night.
Have a great night, everyone.